Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is the 20th of March, 2015, and we're looking at another short episode here because not a lot of stuff happened this week. We've got 6 kits to talk about, all of them reissues. On the new side of things, there's no real new announcements per se, but we did find out this week that the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, the Gullwing, the new brand new kit that Tamiya is going to put out, that probably should have come out this week, has been pushed back to April rather. Not exactly sure when in April that is, but it has been delayed for another couple 3 weeks anyway. And that's pretty much everything that's going on right now because, of course, it's a little too early to be getting the domestic kit releases out yet. They should be out next week, and we're sort of in a lull in announcement time because that's usually the first week of the month. So. Since none of the actual new kits actually showed up this week, and there was nothing today actually at all showed up, we have a relatively quick one to go through. I will say that if you're interested in them, the decals for the Team 888 BMW Z4 and the Martini sponsored Mercedes-Benz SLS GT3 car that ran the 12 hours and won the 12 hours of Vanderzort. Both those decals came out yesterday from Studio 27. They're probably on back order everywhere because those tend to sell. Those tend to be, sell out, in the pre-order phase where you're going to get so many decals per from Studio 27, and they're all sold well before they ever get there. So looking at things here, guys, we got 4 from Oshima, 2 from Tamiya. The Tamiya stuff is what we just talked about a couple of weeks ago, where the 1/20th scale Porsche 928S has been reissued. I'm not real familiar with this kit, and I really didn't spend any time looking through the instructions on it to see what kind of kit it is. It's sort of that oddball scale that I personally am not interested in, so I'm not particularly familiar with it. But it's been reissued. The other Tamiya reissue that was expected this month and has come out is the Jaguar Mark II Saloon. Don't fear the historic car series labels that are on any of these kits. They're also on the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint or Giulia Sprint the Giulia Sprint GTR, the Honda S800, Alpine A110. And a couple other kits, the Karmann Ghia Volkswagen. They just mean historic in the sense that they are famous cars. Famous, I believe the logo, if you actually look at it, says famous and memorable. But they're just cars from the past that they feature to do. They are not best car vintage historic kind of thing. They are just historic in the sense that they are old. This is a full detail kit. It has a complete engine, everything. It's a very nice kit, actually. If you're into this sort of vehicle, it does come with sort of Mylar stickers to replicate all the chrome trim, that stripe that goes down the side of the hood and down through the doors over the back fender. Bare metal foil is probably a better solution for that, but if you're not into that, then they provide you with a solution. It's only a partial solution, however. Obviously, there's a bunch of bright work on this car. All of the windows frames and the door frames are chrome too, so you're going to need your bare metal foil regardless as to whether or not you use the kit supplied stuff, because there are not, it's not a giant sheet of it. It's just very thin little strips. Very reminiscent of the original issue of the Monogram 59 Cadillac Eldorado convertible. If you have one of the original ones that came out with a pink car in a box, they had pre-cut Mylar trim that you could use to do all the basic body chrome work, but didn't include all those small parts. So going over to Oshima, all this stuff is shelf stocking basically. Here's the June Auto Mechanics Machine Shop WRX STI. This is 2007, I want to say, is what they based these kits off of. And then they released the 2010 WRX STI Street version. Both these kits are curbside. Both of them are relatively straightforward in that sense. There's no what am I trying to say? Nothing difficult about them that I've seen. I have both the 2007 and the 2010 street stock versions. But they're new tooling when they came out back in. I think I say it was 2008 when the 2007 one hit, and 2011 when the 2010 one hit. But they're hatchbacks. Obviously, nobody ever did a sedan version of the STI in the or the WRX period, let alone the STI version, in this body style. And then two other kits. I think this was just reissued not that long ago. This is the Nissan S30 Fairlady Z Aero Custom. A lot of this kit was tooled up in like 2008 to make it this Aero Custom version. But be aware that this is a Best Car Vintage kit. So you do have, and this is really a bad one, I might say, curbside motorized chassis in it. Now the motor's gone, but there is still a giant box that sits behind the seats, and it has a access panel on the chassis for where the batteries used to go. Obviously, if you want this generation Fairlady Z, obviously the best solution, or the better solution, because there's still, this Fujimi kit's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination of itself, but the better solution would be the Fujimi kit. And if you're not into the Fujimi kit, well, there's still the Hasegawa version of this. This is one of the more kitted cars as far as this generation of Fairlady. The one kit that, excuse me, guys, the one kit that came out this week that is a little bit hard to find prior to Tuesday when this showed back up again, because it had been about a year, maybe a year and a half now, this has been out of production and you couldn't find it anywhere. This is a Nissan Skyline GTS-T Type M. It represents a 1989 four-door Skyline. This is basically a rear-wheel drive GTR to a certain extent. I mean, the GTR was all-wheel drive, and obviously it's got one more set of doors than required, but it's the same sort of car in the sense of what it was. It's it's a turbo. It's got the RB20 DET engine insert in it, and it does come with some extra parts. They offered one of these with like sort of an aero package with sort of a big spoiler and some ground effects and some other things, and those are in the kit, as well as there being another set of another set of wheels, a mesh set. They're not really BBSs by any stretch of the imagination, but there are other wheels in this kit other than the Nismo-ish looking 5-spokes that they give you on the box art here. But I know for a lot of people, all went looking for this at one time and all found it to be out of stock at the same time. So it's back. Ultimately it is a shelf stuffer so that you can order it from places that would sell it overseas, because I don't think I've ever seen one of those Type M GTSs for sale in the United States anywhere show anything. I mean, I've seen them traded around between builders, but I've never seen them for sale anywhere. But all of those Oshima kits, there's nothing new about them. They're all just straight reissues, and they're all just plugging holes in the ordering systems. I'm not sure when the 928S was out last. Like I said, when they announced it, it's an odd scale. I don't follow it. I don't know when it was out last. The Jaguar Mark II Saloon was reissued very beginning of last year, and apparently sold out, so they're running it again. It's a really, like I said, that of these 6 kits, the GTS Type M is neat. It is an old curbside kit. It's not like as bad as the Fairlady, but it is an old curbside universal chassis kind of car. Rivet, pounding your rivets into your tongue depressor style tie rod and all that nonsense. But I mean, the Subies are nice. That GTS Type M is interesting in the sense of if you want to build that car, it's the only way to get one. And then the Mark II Saloon, it's a Tamiya kit. It's nice. What more do you need to know, right? But it is really a nice little car, and it is, like I said, full detail on top of it. So if you've never, got one of those, that's really one of those kits to look into getting if you're into classic European or especially English cars. That's all we got this week. Like I said, it's gonna be a short show. I'm in thrash mode with the McLaren right now. I've decided I want to try to get it done for a contest this weekend. I've got one side of it decaled. As soon as I get this little pesky stripe that needs to sort of cup down and fold underneath something softened up enough to do that, then we'll start decaling the other side. Here's your basic gist of what this is going to look like. There we go. I should do this on the better camera. Well, we'll do a whole big shebang for Andy, Texas Andy Tactical Jackalope when the thing gets done. Because while the contest that he's running doesn't end for another 3 weeks, the contest that I'm going to out in Central Ohio is Sunday, and I sort of looked at the parts content of this, looked at the weather, and said, I bet you I can get that done. If I don't, I'm not gonna crash it and wreck it or anything else like that in the sense of botching the build. But right now, I think I can get it done if I get back to it and stop talking to you guys. So we'll see you guys next week on the other side.